Do you want to see the best pre-built gaming PCs with an RTX graphics card? If that is the case, stick to the end of the video because I'm going to show you the top 3 pre-built gaming PCs RTX edition. I have to tell you that these gaming pre-builds are expensive, so if you want cheaper ones, you can wait for my next video, which is going to be about GTX edition. But if you want to see or buy a pre-built PC with a RTX graphics card, then this video is for you. We are going from the cheapest to the most expensive, so depending on your budget, you can pick one for yourself. Before we start with the top, I just want to say that if you enjoy my content, please subscribe because 75% of my people aren't subscribed. So if you do, you are helping me a lot. Thank you, and let's start. So we start with the HP Envy computer. I did my research, and this one was the best cheap pre-built gaming PC with an RTX graphics card. And let me tell you that cheap doesn't mean worse in this case, because I've seen a lot of PCs with the same graphics card at a higher price. And if you want to build your own PC, let me tell you that it's impossible to build it with this budget. Literally impossible. So what does this PC have? Well, for the specifications of this PC, we start by looking at the graphics card. The RTX 2060. This graphics card is still great for gaming in 2021 and it supports ray tracing. Believe me when I say that you can still playing games at really good frame rates. And if you don't believe me, I made 2 videos about it testing the graphics cards, so you can go to the description and watch them. And this PC, it's even better than the one I tested because it has an i7-10700. The CPU-GPU combination is actually great. It has 0% bottleneck and it's absolutely amazing for gaming. You are not going to regret buying this PC if you are considering it. It comes with 16GB of RAM too and 1TB of SSD storage. So you have plenty of storage, and on top of that it's SSD storage, so you can open your applications faster. And if you play competitive games, of course, this PC can go up to 240 FPS, so if you play CSGO, Fortnite or any other competitive game and you don't want to spend $3K in a PC, this is the right choice, because of the great CPU that this one has. And we all know most of competitive games uses more CPU than GPU. Before we get into the next one, I'm going to show you some benchmarks with this PC. With the next PC, we have the Skytech Chronos gaming PC, and this one is only $100 more expensive than the last PC, and the main difference is the graphics card. You are getting a 2070 Super instead of a 2060, but keep in mind that you are getting a worse CPU. This PC still has 0% of bottleneck, but the CPU is still a little bit worse than the last one. So if you play competitive games, you may consider buying the last one instead of this one, but if you want to play hard GPU demanding games, then you want to get this one. I mean games like GTA 5, Flight Simulator, Red Dead Redemption or Cyberpunk. Now for the specifications for this PC, it has the RTX 2070 Super alongside the AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, 16GB of RAM and 1TB of SSD as well. So remember those differences, and if you're going to buy one, decide for yourself and ask yourself too, what games are you going to play. Next, you will see the benchmarks for this PC. And for the last PC, well, I'm in PCs because I'm going to mention 2 options for you and you will see why. And at the end, you will be able to pick what's the best for you. With the first option, we have the CUK Stratos micro gaming desktop. This PC is around $1,700 and it has an i7-10700F, 32GB of RAM, 500GB of SSD, 1TB of HDD and an RTX 3060. I honestly recommend this one because it's much cheaper than the other options. It's around $400 cheaper and you get a really similar PC. So if you don't want to spend $2,000 on a PC and you want the new generation of Nvidia graphics card, then you should definitely go for this one. And the other option is the Skytech Chronos gaming PC, but the RTX 3070 version of it. It has an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, an RTX 3070, 16GB of RAM and 1TB of SSD. So like I said, they're both pretty similar, but this last one is $400 more expensive and it has even less RAM. I mean, you don't need more than 16GB for gaming, but still 32GB of RAM for the first option. But of course, if you're going to play games like Flight Simulator, you should go for the Skytech one, but if you are not going to play those games, you are going to play competitive games, then the first option is more than enough. Next, you will see the benchmarks for both of these PCs.
This gravity, it keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I wanna say goodbye.
Let me tell you that if you are into gaming computers, you may like what you are about to hear. I'm going to do a giveaway this month of a gaming computer. I'm not going to get into details because I want it to be a surprise. So if you're interested, just subscribe, click the notifications button and you will get notified when this giveaway starts. That's it for today's video, guys. Remember, you have all the PCs in the description of this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe and comment what you think of these PCs and if you would like to buy one of them. Remember, next video is going to be about the GTX versions, so if your budget is below $1,200, next video is going to be for you. See you next time.